Hello everybody who is watching this fantastic video. I'm very happy to have you today. This is Olenjolai Single. I would like to take this opportunity. Just call me Sir Olenjolai, or just call me Teacher Olenjolai, or just call me Engineer Olenjolai. So whatever you call me, just call me Olenjolai. That is my name. I'm very happy to have you today. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome every viewer, whether national or international viewer, onto these programs because we have a good news for you. I'm a Tanzanian. I'm doing these programs by using or by focusing to the ordinary secondary students in Tanzania. However, that this content might help any students across the entire continents of Africa, European continent, America, Asia, and Australia. They can benefit because the subjects I'm teaching them are universal subjects. So you have to, everybody in the world has to learn them. So before even I continue into too much details of what I've prepared today, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you into one of our online schools that's called Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai. There is no M. Okay, this is our online school. So we don't have any physical online ordinary secondary school, and we are here very serious in order to have students and in order to transform radically students from the present state to the next state where there will be actual extraordinary thinkers and successful students. So after you've been welcomed, possibly you are asking yourself so many questions. What problems are we solving? Why do you need, or why do we need in these generations and future generation Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School? That in square bracket Olenjolai. That's a very good question. So what visions? Because the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18, where there is no vision, people perish. Where there is no vision, Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai perishes. And I'm not ready as the founder of this program through the grace that has been given by the Lord Himself. I'm not ready to see that Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School is perishing. I'm not ready for that. So I'll be trying my level best to listen and to hear the instructions from the Lord Himself so that I can go to the next stage. So that's a very important point. Again, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you into our online. So the vision that we have in Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School is we are here to train and teaching ordinary secondary students on how they can extract knowledge from the formal or informal educations that they're learning in the classroom and combine it with the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that's actually that they have to extract it from the Bible, from the Word of God written in the Holy Bible, and combine it with what, and combine this knowledge with what, and combine this knowledge with and combine these two knowledge in order to solve real life problems. So the main objective of Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in square bracket Olenjolai is not to teach you to pass your continuous assessments, to pass your terminal exams or your annual exams or your midterm exam or your midterm testing. The main objective is to teach you on how you have to think outside of the boxing or outside of the class, how you have to think how can you use the informal and the formal informations that you are receiving, so you're learning day after day from one class to another class on solving small-scale real-life problems. We know what you are telling you might seem like impossible, but myself, as your teacher, I'm a product of what I'm telling you. But when the Lord was sharpening my mind and just sharpening my mind in order to understand what He was telling me, actually that was difficult for me. And even I didn't believe at the beginning, but right now I thank God because I'm living in it and I've seen so many different changes when you combine the spiritual knowledge and the science knowledge and mathematics knowledge. And then my life has changed radically. So you can ask again questions. If, sir, you want to teach us to solve real life problems, can you give us an example? Because you want to follow me as an example. That's a good question. Why? The good example is myself. What the real life problems that I'm solving is this one. I'm using the digital multimedia equipments, and also I'm using the power of the internet in order to teach millions and millions and millions of the students around or across the entire country of Tanzania, in Africa, Asia, America, and Australia continents, so they can benefit through my teaching. I don't know everything about physics or about ordinary secondary education. I know small portions of it, but I have a responsibility to teach others. So that the vision. So whether you, because I know that possibly you are Form 3 students, or you are Form 1 students, or Form 2 students who's watching this program, or maybe you're a Form 4 student, or possibly you're a parent, meaning that you're a teacher, or you're a father of the certain students, or a mother of the certain student, or a guardian, or a sponsor. So regardless of your status, or maybe you are a reciters, regardless of your present status, I know one of the most challenging subjects for the rest of your life is physics, especially when you get into the Form 3 and chemistry. So I would like just to tell you that you should not quit physics and chemistry at this moment and maybe pursue artists while your vision need the information, so need the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics. So I don't advise you to quit. Just you have tried different methods. You have never tried it, Tanzania, the methodology that you're using, Tanzania online ordinary secondary school in square bracket Olenjolai. So we ask you to try it, and then once you try it, even today, then you'll find that your life is getting transformed, because we used to teach our students in such a way that they will understand even if that they don't want to understand. So then now, if you've been convinced or you find that this is a relevant information, registration, then the next question is how you can register yourself, or how you can access our content online once we add any new video. So this registration to also is applications of Tanzania online ordinary secondary school in square bracket Olenjolai. So the first step, if you don't have something we call the email, okay, create or just open new email. If you don't have, how do you open? You have to go to Google, and then, okay, so your email, it may be Yahoo, or it may be Gmail. So you can go to Google, and then you ask, how can I create a new email? That's the first step. The second step, we ask you, after you create the email, so you know your username and your password, then you have to sign in. Sign in what? YouTube platform. By using what? By using your email. By using your email. That's number 2. Number 3. Number 3, we say that once you sign, we ask you to search what? Search in YouTube. When you are in YouTube, search to also. To also is abbreviations of Tanzania online ordinary secondary school in square bracket Olenjolai. Just write this sentence, this phrase, Tanzania online or level secondary school in square bracket Olenjolai, and then click the search button. You'll find that the YouTube channel will come, and then you'll find the icons like this one, and then see it has been written, this name, it will be written on its right hand side, and the number of subscribers might be shown, and so forth. So you see maybe the number of subscribers, and once you see it, you know that you are in right place. So when you are there, click these buttons once, and then you're already in school, so you'll see a trailer video. Then scroll down, so you'll see so many playlists. So after you get there, then you can access now all our contents for ordinary secondary education, because here we are focusing on level. So the first step, we ask you again for you now to register. You're already at the school, you have to register permanently. So click this button of 40 of subscribe. So just look the button at your right hand side, at the bottom of right hand side, which has been written subscribe. Click this once. Once you click, it will change into subscribe, and then the icons of the bell will appear. Click this one once, again click this one once, and then you'll see 3 options. Choose the options of all, and then you find now the bell is shaded, just like this. When you do the first step, then you are already registered permanently into also. So you can access all the contents, and you can not only access, but also whenever we add a new, we have a vision of recording more than 500 videos of physics and chemistry and basic mathematics from 1, from 2, from 3, from 4, so of 12 full subjects. Again, always, whenever you get good news, you used to share with your friends. That is the human nature. So I know that when you find our lecture, which have been taught systematically and in very fantastic way, you want to share this secret with your colleagues. How? So you can click an icon of what? Of share. So when you click the icons of share, then we say that you can share the link of this video in WhatsApp. You can share with your friends the links of these videos through Facebook, through Instagram, through Twitter, through Telegram, through your email, through TikTok, through what? LinkedIn. So you have so different social and non-social network. So you can share, you can send these contents to your friend who you used to study together in Bear. You can send these contents to your friend who used to study in Mara. You can send these contents when you used to study together in Jombe region, and you can send these contents to your friends who used to study together in Kigoma. So those are very important instructions. So right now, take your exercise book, take your syllabus book or a copy of syllabus, and then take your chemistry exercise book, your pen, and then let us go to the business. Okay. So I'll give you some couple of announcements when we'll be proceeding with the session. So let us begin with quick review. Quick review of what? Of previous session, which is session 1. And this was a general introduction. The session is stated as general introduction of what? So the session is stated as general introduction of chemical equation. General introductions of chemical equation. And I gave you the big picture. Simply, in this session, first of all, we defined the term chemical equation. And I gave you more than one definition. So define the terms chemical equation. Then I gave you examples. Examples of what? Of chemical equation. Then I defined what? I defined chemical reaction. So if you didn't go through session what? Session 1 to get all of those information. Define chemical reaction. Then the next step, we say that what? After defining the chemical reaction, then we say that I told you about types of chemical, just I mentioned chemical reaction, where we have to start today. And we say there are 5 basic chemical reaction. Chemical reaction. You have to remember this. The first one, we said combination reaction. Combination reaction. Second one was synthetic reaction. Okay. The second one is what? Decomposition. Composition reaction. Then the third one is double decomposition. Double decomposition reaction. Then the first one is called displacement reaction. Say with me, displacement reaction. So just mention. And then we had what? Double decompositions I've mentioned. Neutralization reaction. That's what we taught you. Just to remind you, we define the terms chemical equations in this way. is a systematic representation of the chemical reaction in which reactants and the products are expressed in terms of their respective chemical formula. Or in other words, chemical equation is a symbolic representation of the chemical reaction in which reactants are on the left side of the arrow and products are on the right side of the arrow. Then we give you a summary or just an example. Okay? Then we define chemical reactions. What is chemical reaction? It's a process that involves arrangements of molecular or ionic structure of the substance as a distinctive from a change in physical form or nuclear reaction. Or in other words, you say that is a process that leads to the chemical transformation of one state of chemical substance to one state of the substance. Okay? So those are the definitions. So today, let us focus on types of chemical reaction. Say with me, types of chemical reaction. Remember that, if you do remember what I told you that there is a close relationship between chemical reaction and the chemical equations, even if you review the two definitions or the different definitions of these terms that I have shared it with you. Okay? So in case of the types of the chemical reactions, remember that the general form of the chemical reactions or chemical equation has two parts. It has reactants, okay? Reactants, these will form what? Products. So reactants, when reactants react together, then it will form what? It will form products. Form what? Product. So reactants react together to form what? Products. Okay. This is the fundamental. So it can be one reactant and form one product, or it can be more than one reactants form one or more products. So today we say that let us focus on the types of the chemical reaction, and let us begin from this point. You have to listen carefully and you have to follow along when we are enjoying this stuff, because this stuff are very interesting. However, that I left you homework 1, that write 5 examples of chemical equation and write 5 examples of chemical reactions. So I'm going to give you or to answer you in a different style. So you say in chemistry, there are 5 basic chemical reaction. There are five basic chemical reactions. There are 5 basic chemical reactions. There are 5 basic chemical reactions. Okay. There are 5 basic chemical reactions. Contains what? Contains reactants. Contains reactants. Reactants and what? And products. Reactants and products. So these are so the first chemical reaction is called the combustion. Say with me, combustion reaction. Combustion chemical reaction. Combustion chemical reaction. Combustion chemical reaction. The second type of reactions is called the displacement. Displacement chemical reaction. Displacement chemical reaction. Displacement chemical reactions. Displacement chemical reaction. Then the third type is called the decomposition. decomposition, say with me, decomposition, reaction, chemical reaction. Very important reactions. Decomposition, chemical reactions. Say again, decomposition, chemical reactions. You have to remember and keep these 5 best types of reactions in your mind for the rest of your life whenever you are going or whenever you are studying chemistry in ordinary diploma level or in advanced diploma level or in advanced secondary education or in undergraduate level. You'll be reviewing or you'll be using these 5 basic types of chemical reactions in different aspects. So I really insist because I know many teachers in O level, they don't insist here, they don't link the future, it means the next educational system with the present educational system. That's the challenge that we do have. Then we say that we have also the 4th types of chemical reaction, which is called the double decomposition. Double decomposition chemical reaction. Double decomposition chemical reaction. Then the 5th one is called neutralization. Neutralization chemical reaction. Neutralization chemical reaction. So in this session, I'm going to teach you each of these type of chemical reactions. Please, I want to clean this part. I ask you to copy this contents, pause the video, and then copy those instructions for you, for your young brothers, for your friends, for your classmates, your schoolmate, your street mate, etc., etc. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have these 5 of chemical reactions. So let us start with the first one. The first one is called the combination. Say combination. So combination chemical reaction. Combination chemical reaction. So the fundamental question is what is combustion? So there are various definitions, but simply combustion chemical reaction is the common chemical reaction whereby the substance is being burnt in presence of oxygen. So what is combustion chemical reaction? Okay? What is combustion chemical? Excuse me. Not combustion. Not combustion. This is combination. Excuse me. Combustion is one of the exceptional chemical reaction. So this is not combustion. It's combination. Excuse me, I confused the combination and combustion. Combination. So there I wrote combination chemical reaction. What is combination? What is combination chemical reaction? And then we should not only define, but should give an example. So you say that so combination chemical reaction, combination chemical so say combination chemical reaction is a chemical reaction, means that is a type of what? It's a type of chemical reaction. Is a type of chemical reaction. a type of chemical reaction in which two or more atoms in which two or more atoms or groups of atoms combine together to form a single compound. Combine together to form what? To form one compound. So combination chemical reaction is a type of chemical reaction. So it is a type of chemical reaction in which two or more atoms or groups of atoms combine together to form what? One compound. From one compound. So combination chemical reaction, this is the chemical reaction in which two or more atoms, when you say more atoms, it can be 2 atoms or 3 atoms or 4 atoms or 5 atoms or groups of atoms, that means that it means more than 2 or groups of atoms combine together to form one compound. Simple. So combination chemical reaction is a type of the chemical reaction in which 2 or more than 2 atoms combine together, atoms in atomic state combine together to form one compound. And that should be a chemical reaction. Remember that the necessary condition, it's a process where atoms or reactants react chemically and not physically, because there is a physical reaction or physical change and chemical change. And you have also temporary change and you have permanent change. You have to understand that. Okay? So for example, under special condition, hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. Example, let me give you the example under special condition. Under special condition, you say that under special condition, oxygen gas combines with, so oxygen gas combine with hydrogen to form what? To form water. So in this topic, I'll teach you the 2 ways of writing chemical equation. We can write the chemical equation by using words, where reactants we're using words. I will teach you in the next sessions, so you have to stay tuned. And also you can write a chemical equation by using symbols of the elements. Symbols of the element. So for these reactions, let me start, because I will teach you. Remember that I will teach you chemistry or chemical equations or chemistry from Serie in a very extraordinary way, in a high qualified way, in a very simplified way, that even myself, when I was in Form Serie, I didn't get this advantage more than you. But please tell me in the comment sections whether you understand what I'm teaching you, please. Please use the comment section, say something, say you're enjoying this content from where. And again, before even just I think that let me just give you the good news. So it means that the word chemical equation, for that example, the word chemical equation, we say that, remember the principle of writing a chemical equation. We say that on the left-hand side, we have one reactant or more than one reactant. When they react, they form one product or more than one product. Okay? Okay, more than one product. So here, in case of reactants, we have hydrogen, then react with oxygen, and then this will form what? Water. Okay? So this is gas, and this is gas, and this is liquid. So the equation is not balanced, but I promised you that I'll write first in the equation. Okay? So the reactants for this chemical reaction is, if you take hydrogen, okay, if you take your hydrogen gas, so hydrogen gas, and then plus what? Oxygen gas, then the product is what? Is water. So this is word equation. Okay? Word equation. But now, writing the equation in symbolic form, we say that we have hydrogen molecule in gaseous state plus oxygen molecule in gaseous state. These are the two reactants combining together to form one compound, which is called the water, which is always in liquid state unless it is in gaseous state, and especially in thermochemistry. So how many atoms of hydrogens do you have here? We have 2 atoms, and here we have 2 atoms of oxygen. While here we have 2 atoms of hydrogens, and here we have 1 atom of oxygen. We'll teach you about balancing chemical equation. So in order to balance, here we introduce 2. Now we have, on the product side, we have 4 more atoms of hydrogen, and we have 2 atoms of oxygen. So while on the reactant side, we have 2 atoms of oxygen, and here we have 2 atoms of hydrogens. So we have also to produce 2. So this is the balance, the chemical equation. And this is what we call the combination reaction. So example, this is the first example. But the second example, hydrochloric acid, hydrogen also, hydrogen gas, can react with chlorine, with chlorine gas. And this combination will form hydrochloric acid. So its chemical equation is, we have hydrogen gas as a reactant in gaseous state. Then we combine with what? We combine with one mole of chlorine molecule, which is in gaseous state, and then it will form 2 moles of hydrogen chloride. Why should I put 2? Because I have to balance, but this is in aqueous state. So this is the combination, 2 atoms. So these are 2 atoms of hydrogen combined with 2 atoms of chlorine to form hydrogen chloride. So let us balance. How many number of hydrogens do you have on the reactant side? We have 2, while here we have 1. And here we have 2 atoms of chlorine, while here we have 1. So to balance the chemical equation, we introduce 2, and this is the balance the chemical equation. So that is all about combination chemical reactions. But again, in chemistry, combination chemical reactions is also known as synthesis chemical reaction. That's another name. Okay? I believe that you understand and you enjoy the beauty of chemistry form study. Okay. So we said that the combination chemical reaction is also known as synthesis chemical reaction. Okay, so this also can be in gaseous state. Okay, it's known as synthesis. It's also known as a synthesis chemical reaction. So whenever you hear about synthesis chemical reaction, it means you are talking about combination chemical reaction. All right? Keep enjoying the beauty of chemistry for the Form 3 and the beauty of chemical equation for the rest of your life. We have a topic of balancing chemical equation later on. I'll teach 30 questions and there are some procedures that you have to follow. But we have to write the balanced chemical equation when I'm teaching you these 5 types of chemical reaction. I won't teach you in this session about redox reactions. I won't teach you about, unless we need, I won't teach you about combustion reaction, and I won't teach you about some the thing as a precipitation reaction. But in case we need, I will teach you, I will add that. So the second type of reactions, we say what? Displacement. Say with me, displacement chemical reaction. Displacement chemical reaction. Displacement chemical reactions. Displacement chemical reactions. So I'll dedicate these sessions to my O-level teacher that called the my O-level teacher taught me chemical equations at the Elanosi Secondary School. Okay, displacement, Mrs. Chembwa, I remember her name. So displacement chemical reaction. So the fundamental question of Olenjolai to ask me is, students, he said that what is displacement? What is displacement chemical reaction? What is displacement chemical reaction? What is displacement chemical reactions? Before I answer that question, I ask you to make sure that I like to give you some time for you to try to answer that question. Okay? So you have what this is called displacement chemical reaction. So simply say that in chemistry, displacement chemical reaction, displacement chemical reaction is the type of what? Of chemical reaction. This is the type of chemical reaction in which an atom or group of atoms groups of atoms displaces another atom, or group of 40, another atom, it means one atom, or group of 40, or group of atoms, or group of atoms from a compound. To form a new compound. Ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm teaching about displacement chemical reaction. Say displacement chemical reaction. So in chemistry, say displacement chemical reaction is the type of chemical reaction, very interesting, in which an atom, so every name of the chemical reactions has the same meaning as the name which has been used, in which an atom or group of atoms or groups of atoms displaces another atom or groups of atoms from a compound to form what? To form a new compound. That is the meaning of what? Of displacement chemical reaction. So let me give you an example. What are the examples of, or what is the example of displacement reaction? So example, examples. So you say that the first one, when chlorine gas is bubbled through potassium iodide solution. It displaces. So when chlorine gas is bubbled through potassium iodide solution, so it displaces what chlorine? It displaces what? It displaces iodine to form a reddish brown. Solid. That to say iodine and potassium chloride. Iodine and potassium chloride. So this is one of the examples. When chlorine gas is bubbled through what? Is bubbled through potassium iodide solution, it displaces iodine to form a reddish brown salt, let's say iodide or iodine and potassium chloride. So we say that the Word equation, the Word chemical equation, so we say that we have chlorine gas, which is in gaseous state, plus what? Potassium iodide solution. And this potassium iodide solution is in aqueous state. How about chlorine? Is it in gaseous state? Is in aqueous state. This is gaseous state. So the displacement reaction, you see, this is the compound, potassium iodide. This is a molecule, chlorine gas. So chlorine is going to displace what? It's going to displace iodide to form what? Potassium chloride plus what? Iodine gas. Okay. So if you balance, you have two molecules of chlorine. You have one molecule of 14 or one atom of chlorine. We have one atom of potassium, one atom of potassium. We have one atom of iodine. We have two atoms of 40 of iodine. So to balance, we have to balance the number of potassium atom and number of iodine. So it means that a number of chlorine. It means that all the three atoms didn't balance. Chlorine, potassium, and the iodine. So here you have two atoms of potassium, two atoms of potassium, two atoms of chlorine, two atoms of chlorine, two atoms of iodine, two atoms of iodine. But this iodine is in what? In solid state. And this potassium chloride is what? It's aqueous state. That's example 40 of displacement reaction. Second example, we can have what? So displacement, for example, we can have what? Potassium react with hydrochloric or hydrogen chloride. So this is in solid state, and this is what? In aqueous state. And then what will happen? So potassium will replace what? Hydrogen. Oh. Potassium, let's say, plus magnesium chloride. So potassium plus magnesium chloride. So potassium plus magnesium chloride. There will be 2 atoms of magnesium chloride. But this is in aqua state. So this will form what? This, okay, so potassium will replace magnesium. So we are going to have potassium chloride. And then plus what? So potassium chloride plus magnesium. Okay, plus magnesium. So these are the chemical. We'll be studying these chemical reactions, especially in case of inorganic chemistry. Okay? So that is all about displacement chemical reaction. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now teach you about the second type of chemical reaction, which is decomposition chemical reaction. Decomposition chemical reaction. So the third type of reactions is called the decomposition chemical reaction. Decomposition chemical reaction. So you have a question here. What is decomposition chemical reaction? What is decomposition chemical reaction? Okay, there are so many definitions, but one of the reference will say that decomposition chemical reaction, we say in chemistry, decomposition chemical reaction is a chemical reaction. Is a chemical reaction. It's a chemical reaction in which a compound breaks down into simpler substances. In which compounds breaks down into simpler substances or atoms. Substances or atoms or compounds when they are heated, or when electricity, if I'm not sure about this part, second part, electricity is allowed to pass through reaction. You can ignore this part, just you can end here. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm teaching about the third type of chemical reactions, which is called we call it decomposition chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction in which compounds, so the chemical reactions in which compounds, or a compound or compounds, one compound or compounds, breaks down into simpler substances or atoms when they are heated. So it means that if the condition for the decomposition chemical reaction to take place is the presence of heat. It means the reactant have to be heated either strongly or normally. Or we can have the decomposition chemical reaction can be achieved when electricity is allowed to pass through the system of that particular chemical reaction. So examples. When calcium carbonate is heated, when calcium carbonate is heated, it decomposes to form carbon dioxide, and what? And calcium oxide, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, calcium oxide. So this is one of the example 40 of decomposition chemical reaction. We say that in decomposition chemical reaction, the given compounds as reactant or the given compounds decomposes to form simpler products or simpler elements in products when the compound has been heated. So a good example is when calcium carbonate is heated, it decomposes itself. It decomposes to form what? Carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide and the calcium oxide, these are products. So in where the chemical equation for that problem. So you say, first of all, we have calcium carbide, we have calcium carbonate, as a reactant. This calcium carbonate undergo heat, or is strongly heated to form what? So then the products are two: calcium oxide plus what? Calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So then we have calcium carbonate, then this one decomposes. So we have calcium carbonate decomposes under presence of heat, to form calcium oxide plus what? Plus carbon dioxide. So calcium carbonate, this is in solid state, and this is in gaseous state, and this is in solid state. So calcium carbonate decomposes when it is being heated to form calcium oxide plus what? Carbon dioxide. So this is the molecular formula of calcium carbonate, which decomposes to form calcium oxide. This is the molecular formula of calcium oxide plus what? Carbon dioxide. Then balance the number of atoms. On this side we have one calcium atom, we have one calcium atom. On this side we have one carbon atom, we have one carbon atom. On this side we have 3 oxygen atoms, on this side we have 3 oxygen atoms. So the question is already balanced. Only for you to balance. Okay, so that's the example is, okay, that example is great actually, it's helpful for you. So now you see that you can attempt now the homework because you have 5 chemical reactions and 5 chemical equations. So the first type is closely related with decomposition, but this one is called the double decomposition. Say with me, double decomposition. Double decomposition chemical reaction. 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 What is double decomposition? What is double decomposition? What is double decomposition chemical reaction? What is the meaning? So these contents are well prepared to help school candidates who are preparing themselves to sit for any Form 3 exams or Form 4 exam. And these contents also are prepared for private candidates, which might be the graduate or the successful students who have passed the QT Form 2 exam, or even reciters who are reciting the Form 4 exams. So there are 3 groups, even teachers who are teaching O-level. These contents might be relevant for them because to simplify the way of preparing the session. So what is double decomposition reaction? You can pause the video and ask yourself and try to answer it. Okay? So we say that in chemistry, double decomposition reaction, we say that is a type of chemical reaction, in which two soluble compounds will teach you later about soluble and insoluble compounds. Two soluble compounds decompose to form 2 new compounds. Decompose to form two new compounds, one of which is a solid and one of which new compounds. new compounds, whereby one of the compound is what is solid in physical state. So that is the meanings of double decomposition reaction. Again, my beloved students, say double decomposition reaction. So double decomposition reaction is a type of chemical reaction. So this is the type of what? It's a type of chemical reaction in which two soluble compounds decompose to form two new compounds, whereby one of the compound is what is solid. So it means that for double decomposition, we say that we're expecting to have two reactants and two products. While in case of of decomposition chemical reactions, in most cases we expect it to have one reactant and more than one products. That's actually is used to be. Examples. So examples, we say that, the first example, we say the reaction between silver nitrate and sodium chloride solution, the solid silver chloride is formed as a white precipitate. Example, the chemical reaction between silver nitrate, and the sodium chloride. Undergo double decomposition. But remember that these reactants, they should be soluble, right? So the chemical reaction between silver nitrate and sodium chloride to form what? To form sodium nitrate and the silver chloride. Silver chloride and sodium nitrate to form what? To form silver nitrate. Okay, to form silver nitrate. No, excuse me. Form silver chloride and the what? And sodium nitrate. And sodium nitrate. So example, the chemical reaction between silver nitrate and sodium chloride to form silver chlorides and sodium nitrate. So in this chemical reaction, we say that one new compounds at product side should be solid. So we say that silver chloride, silver chloride is white precipitate. Is white precipitate. So this is white precipitate. Silver chloride, it's a white precipitate. So we say that example, the chemical reaction between silver nitrate and sodium chloride to form silver chloride and sodium nitrate whereby silver chloride is white precipitate. So you have to know the principle, because in displacement reaction, it depends that one atom might be a non-metal or it can be a metal. But for this type of chemical reactions, for example, double decomposition, very simple for you to It means that to know the products of the chemical reaction. Okay. So we said the word equation, we have what? Remember that always on the left-hand side we have what? Reactants. I want you to understand. And please let me know in the comment section if you've understood what I'm teaching you. We have reactants and products. So on this side, in word equation, we have silver, nitrate in aqueous state because it is soluble, plus what? Sodium chloride, which is this, and then the product is what? Is displacement now. So here we have what? Your silver chloride. Silver chloride plus what? Sodium nitrate. Sodium what? Nitrate. So it means that the symbolic chemical reactions is we have silver nitrate in aqueous state, and then this one react with sodium chloride. Sodium chloride in aqueous state. So then we have what? So you see displacement reaction. This is metal, this is non-metal compound. This is this is called, we'll call it, this is cation, and this is an ion. This is cation, this is an ion. We'll teach you later. How these reactions take place. Look, silver will displace what? Will displace chlorine. Will displace sodium. While sodium will displace what? Silver. So sodium will displace silver to combine with what? With nitrate. So it means that the products now will be silver plus what? Silver and chlorine from silver chloride. And then we say that plus what? Plus sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate. So that the chemical reaction. Okay? That is the example of chemical of double decomposition. But silver chloride is in aqueous state. So just write these equations clearly, because this is just for understanding. Tell your neighbor that you understand what Olenjolai is doing in chemistry. So ask your neighbor please, and let me know in the comment section. So here we have the products of silver chloride, and then remember that this should be in aqueous state. It's a physical state, it is soluble, and also sodium chloride is soluble salt, but this one it is insoluble, it's white precipitate. Plus what? Sodium nitrate, and this sodium nitrate, it's aqueous, it is soluble. Wonderful. So that is example of that's the example of double decomposition reaction. So you see how chemistry is beautiful, because chemistry is all about little information, knowing different chemical reactions. Even if that will be covering about organic, the secret is you have to know the chemical reactions. If particular reactants react together, what the product. And if you're being given products, you have to think about reactants. That's all. So it is just like mathematics. So you can compute the response, or you can be given the response, and then you have to find out the question. So ladies and gentlemen, I will leave the homework for you in case for the last type of chemical reaction. But because I want you in the next session to teach you a new concept, let me just teach you, because all of these 5 chemical reactions are very important, and we'll be discussing them repeatedly as long as we continue. Okay? So the last type of basic type, the last basic type of chemical reaction is called what? Neutralization. Neutral. So it's come from the word neutral. Neutralization. Neutralization. Neutralization what? Neutralization chemical reaction. Neutralization chemical reaction. Neutralization chemical reaction. The fundamental question is, what is neutralization? What is neutralization chemical reaction? What is neutralization chemical reaction? So in chemistry, you can start with that language. In chemistry, neutralization chemical reaction is a type of chemical reaction. So it's a type of chemical reaction in which, so it's a type of chemical reaction in which acid and a base reacts quantitatively to form to form salt and the water only. We taught you about the issue of pH. What a pH scale of water? It's neutral, it's 7, right? That's what we call the neutralization reaction. So neutralizations is come from the word neutral. Solization is just the process. So neutralization reactions, the chemical reactions, it means that it's a neutralization chemical reaction. It's a type of chemical reaction in which acid act as reactant and base act as second reactants, reacting quantitatively to form salty and water only. We don't expect any other. What? We don't expect any other compound. So examples. So the first example, we say that when hydrochloric acid, so we say that generally, remember, so we say that here we have reactants react together to form what? Products. Okay? So for this case now, we have acid plus what? Base. Okay, acid plus base. And then this one will form what? Will form salt plus what? Water. Salt plus water. Okay? That's the word equation. So now the first example, in word equation, we can have a reaction between hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide. Then the product will be, we have hydrochloric acid react with sodium hydroxide. React with sodium hydroxide to form what? To form salty, and the salty is what? To form sodium sodium chloride plus what? Water. So this is the example of neutralization reaction in word equation. So by using symbols in molecular formula or in molecular form, we say that we have hydrochloric acid. This is aqueous, should be in aqueous. We react with sodium hydroxide, which also is soluble, so it's aqueous, to form what? To form sodium chloride. To form sodium chloride, and hence we are salting water. So sodium chloride, also this is the table salt, and water is liquid. So that's a good example of neutralization reaction. So this is salt, this is water, this is acid, this is base. The second example, but I won't write the word equation, just I'll write the molecular formula or the molecular equation. So we have what? We can have also sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, when it reacts with calcium hydroxide, the product will be calcium sulfate salt plus water. So this is acid, and this is base or alkyl, and hence the product is salty and water. Wonderful. So the Holy Spirit is telling me that Olenjolai is enough. If you exceed that, I will overdose you. So now it's time for homework. This is time for homework, or H1. This is homework 2. So you say that with aid of chemical reaction, right? State, at least state one example of each type of chemical reaction. So how many? So you give me 5 examples. So with aid of chemical reaction, state one example of each type of chemical reaction. That's your homework, and this is the end of session 2 that has been titled as types of chemical reaction. Types of chemical reaction. Types of chemical reaction. At the end, it's enough. I would like to say that this is the end. I would like to thank God, first of all, who have created me in His own image and likeness, and who have given me a gift of teaching to teach you in this extraordinary way. And then I thank God who have given the opportunity to join me from the beginnings of this fantastic session. And may God bless you abundantly and keep you and keep this message and let you prosper on it. Again, remember that the vision we have in Tanzania Online Ordinary Secondary School in Square Bracket Olenjolai is real, to teach you on how you have to think outside the box or outside of the class, solving real life problems in order to benefit the society. So that's very important questions or very important thing to remember. Again, I would like to remind you to register yourself by subscribing onto our YouTube channel so that you get notifications once we add a new video. For example, session 3 is on the way. I would like to invite you into the session 3 when I'll teach you a new concept in the topic or in the first topic of chemistry form 3 that's called the chemical equation. Okay? So again, I insist you to share these contents with your classmates, with your colleagues in every school or in every continent or in every country or in every continent or in every part of the planet Earth. Again, I would like to ask you that visit our Tanzania Online Ordinary Library, where you can have access to order, to buy some of the reference books in terms of the packaging or in terms of the package, and we can ship, we can transport these books into any regions. We are not doing the business, we are equipping our students for them to have this reference book. The first one is chemistry Forms 3 and 4 students books by Tanzania Institute of Education. It has been prepared by following the syllabus, but also you have syllabus, so you can order the syllabus. And the second one is the reference textbook, that chemistry Form 1 and 2 students book that prepared by Tanzania Institute of Education. And also the other ones is it's called the ordinary level chemistry review book, which comprises questions of past papers, of NECTA past papers from 2003 through 2019. Again, we have another Form 2 chemistry review. This contains past papers for the Form 2 exam from 2003 through 2019. You can order, have a special discount if you order all of these books. But remember that you have to buy, and also you have to pay the transport cost to any place. It means that in any regions where that you want to deliver this material in order for you to use them effectively. So again, and the last announcement is I ask you to read the descriptions, ask your questions in the comment section, answer these questions in the comment section, and then give me the feedback whether you understand, because I don't see you in the comment section, please. Again, you can offer your feelings Thanksgiving through this telephone number 0759 745331. So it means that this is what you have to make sure that you remember this telephone number for your benefit. So may God bless you. Until we meet in the next session, stay enjoying the beautiful chemistry for the Form 3, chemistry Form 1, chemistry Form 2, and chemistry Form 4. That I believe that in the next year, or you'll take the course of chemistry Form 4 soon as possible, as well as you continue to enjoy the chemistry for the Form 3. Keep restoring your hope, keep focusing on chemistry, keep enjoying the beauty of chemistry. This is Sir and Engineer Olenjolai from beautiful country, Tanzania. Okay, I love so much my country, and this is the gift that I have to offer to my entire country for the present and future generation. So your fuel in Thanksgiving will be used in order to support the running cost, so that more than 500 videos will be recorded for ordinary education and be provided and distributed into the entire country by the power of the internet. So until we meet in the next session, stay enjoying the beauty of chemistry. May God bless and keep you, and keep praying for me until we meet.